Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Football is on us, man. Football is upon us. It is the first of many. I cannot wait. I know it's not the Lions tonight, but we can't wait to watch football. And maybe I might be even more excited to talk about that football tomorrow with Braylon Edwards here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Ryan is with us, Kool-Aid is with us, and a cool-looking Braylon Edwards is with us. The shades are a must today, huh?
Are you ready for some football? Yes, sir. Look, we've been waiting for
You
this.
keep on. You look good.
You know what? I will for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while.
Me. Just excited. You know, I feel like we've been waiting here in Detroit as Lions fans. Crazy. Yes, I know I'm a Jet, 49ers, Seahawks, and Brown. But I've been waiting for this Lions season. You know, we've been talking about it ever since the game we will not mention and how the season ended. The draft has happened. Mini camps have happened. Additions have happened. Additions have not happened. We've had conversation after conversation about what is this Detroit Lions team going to be? Are they the team that we believe is going to win the Super Bowl year, get to the Super Bowl, win the NFC? We've had so many conversations. But the season starts tonight with the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys, and I think I'm so excited. Shep, like,
they want to hear a fired up Shep in the
okay,
chat.
everybody go around the room.
Pumped.
What are you most excited for just tonight? Because obviously there's Friday, there's the Chargers and the Chiefs, and then there's Sunday and there's Monday.
Yeah.
What are you excited for tonight?
There is something about the start of a football season that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it does to you because you actually played at the highest level for an extended period of time. But I've talked about this before. Walking around an NFL stadium, watching players prepare, talking to coaches is one of my favorite things I've ever done in life, all right? Not just in sports, not just in broadcasting, but in life. It's awesome. I think what I'm looking forward to most, and I don't like special teams. No offense to punters, no offense to long snappers.
But special teams aren't the same as they used to be.
That's
there's
true.
no punt returns, there's no kick return. It's not the same feel as it was 15 years ago.
100%. Yeah. But where I was going is I can't wait to see the first foot hit the football off the tee. Ooh. I can't wait for that. And like I said, that's not a big deal to me. It will be, passé after a while. Yeah. But tonight, to see that and to hear that first whistle and to hear the first pat, my hope is the guy on the parab, you've seen it. It looks like a big satellite on the sideline, and he's aiming at it, okay? My hope is we get that first pop. We get that first hit. We hear an oomph. We hear some type of swear word that has to be beeped out. Something like that is going to get our blood juicing that's even higher than it is right now. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Let's go run right now. Let's go out and let's start it right now.
Let's go streaking right down Woodward.
Hey, come on, everybody. Come on.
Ryan, I don't know how you're going to beat that. Shep's fired up, but what are you waiting for in just tonight? Start of football season.
Yeah, you're right. I can't beat what Shep just said. I just want like the theme music and just the overall aura of just an NFL broadcast of one good football team.
I see what you did there.
Play each other and just some pads hitting each other. I'm more of a ground guy myself. Sorry, Braylon.
I'm not mad.
I'm a ground guy, so I just want to see just people going 10, 15 plus yard carries. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. You want Saquon Barkley. That's what you want tonight. You're going to get Saquon Barkley. He's going to run for a lot tonight. Kool-Aid, how about you?
Yeah, look, I'm just pumped up to see the Eagles. They're going to get something easy because they're going to lose their dominance this year. I'm so fired up for the Lions, man. So to get this appetizer tonight, it's going to be some decent football. But moving on, I can't wait for Lions football, man.
I love homers because homers can't even answer a question that has nothing to do with the Detroit Lions or the Detroit Pistons or the Detroit
They know
Tigers.
Detroit
That's so true.
The people know me.
We asked what was the best thing about tonight, what are you most looking forward to tonight? We got the kick, and when you see the foot hit the ball and you know it's starting the season, talking about the aura of the theme song and Thursday Night Football and whoever they choose to highlight it this year, whoever they pay $15 million to this year. And that's what Ryan said, and that's dope. And what you said was, I mean, this is going to be cool, but I can't wait for Sunday at 4:15, Green Bay Packers versus Detroit Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, Kool-Aid is strapped in.
I'm ready, dog. Look. Tonight starts the official season, which means it's officially when the Lions Super Bowl season starts too. So that's what it means to me. Yeah, of course, you know, the theme music. That was something that meant a lot to me because my grandfather grew up a diehard Lions fan. My dad grew up diehard Lions fan, but more NFL. So he would look at everything, even if the Lions weren't on. And so those types of themes, those music, those national games with those national iconic teams, whether they're good or not, those logos, those things do mean something. And so to me, to be able to see that, get back into it, especially with my sons, with my daughter, she loves football too. Like, it's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait, man. It's football in the air, and I'm fired up. Go Lions.
Ooh, football in the air.
What about you? I mean, look, this is the most important question for you because you have done this time and time again where it's opening night or opening day. And there's a different feeling, obviously. What are these guys? Are they nervous? Are they just anxious? Are they excited? What's the combination there, the feelings?
The thing I'm looking most excited for is what I'm going to explain in the question you just asked. There's a look that you can see in guys' eyes right before during the national anthem, when they're getting ready to put the helmets on, whether it's offense, whether it's defense, getting out there. You see that look in the eye. You see guys look up on the sideline. They're thinking about all the work that they put in. They're thinking about how the season ended. Even the Super Bowl winners, they're thinking about how the season ended. They're thinking about all the work that they put in. They're thinking about what the optimism is. See, the optimism of 0-0 is what some teams have to hang their hat on. It's what the Dallas Cowboys will have to hang their hat on when the season's done. Mm-hmm. That 0-0, you can see the optimism. You can see the excitement. You can see the fact that, man, if I'm Dak Prescott, I just got George Pickens in the offseason to blend with CeeDee Lamb, who hasn't had a comparable number 2 in 3 years. Like that optimism, that gleam in the eye. You can see it on the coach. You can see it the coach. The first time they show the coach on the sideline, and he's doing this, and he's looking at his guys, and he's got his hands on his knees, and he's dialed into the play, because this is the start of the season. This is the start of all the work. Everything that's been talked about from February to September, everything that's coming between, all the media, whether they're on your side, whether they're not on your side, all the moves that you did make, that you didn't make. Like, this is the culmination, and you get to see it in the eyes right before the kickoff. The national anthem, it leads you into that space. That's what I'm more excited to see about, because that's how it was. That first game, just watch the eyes.
Yeah, so you did that for, 8 years, 8 opening nights. No. Are they truly different than any other game until you get to the playoffs? But are they truly different? And if so, how is it different?
Yeah, they're truly different because it's if you're a really good team, are we that good? That's the thought process. If you're a bad team, are we that bad? You know, if your team in the middle, it's can we make a move? Can something happen in our favor to win this game, to give us some momentum to go forward? Like, yes, every season it's the same thing.
What's the first hit like? Every opening day.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to get hit to a certain extent, right? Because it's going to be all season long. What's it like? What's it feel like? How do you put those into words?
You can't settle into the game until you get that first hit. And that's why I've always been a fan of running the ball first play of the game.
Oh, okay.
Like, unless you're going to go route, in which we're going to throw all 9 routes. Braylon go get it. If you catch it, it's an 80-yard touchdown. That's how we're going to start the season. But I prefer to start with, I'm a big wide receiver. I like contact. Yeah. And as opposed to waiting for the first time I catch a pass to get hit, and now I can shake it off and, all right, it's go time. I'd just rather block somebody. Boom, put a hat on the hat, much like you said. And once I do that, now I get the same energy. So now when they call that run play, I'm seeing that pass play, I'm dialed in. Like they call that pass play, I'm like, all right, cool. I can settle into the play, boom, boom. And it's not the anxiety. Sometimes, you asked about anxiety yesterday. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when it's first play and it's, hey, we're going to go to you on a 40-yard purse, I was like, you get a little too excited. Yeah.
It's interesting, folks, because in 2007, he was targeted 154 times. He had 80 rocks and 1,300 yards. And I would guess early on, you're feeling it. You know what you can contribute. How quickly do you think guys, I'm kind of looking at Dallas here.
I got you.
CeeDee Lamb wants the ball. You wanted the ball. Wide receiver ones want the ball. How quickly do you think that is transpiring even during game number 1 of your schedule, especially when it's a divisional game.
This is true. George Pickens wants to have a big game. He wants to be, he wants to punish the people in Pittsburgh. How dare you get rid of me? You guys are idiots. CeeDee Lamb wants to have a big game because he wants to show, no. I am wide receiver 1. Don't let that fool you. But the question is, how are they going to develop that run game? Like, that's what's going to have to happen. So, CeeDee Lamb, as well as Colston Loveland, not Colston Loveland. I can't think of the tight end name, but Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
There we go. Ferguson, as well as George Pickens. You guys are going to have to be patient because if you can't establish a running game with Javonte, like if you can't get things going, it's going to be a long night for Dak Prescott. So, I would urge them to be patient, and they know what's coming.
I think the schedule is special. It's another thing that I think the NFL does really, really well. I don't think the NFL does a lot of things poorly. Like we can take shots at the different leagues, and we will a little bit later on in our show.
They do things you don't like, but they don't do a lot of things poorly. Those are two different things.
100%. Yeah. Well said. We'll get into that with the NBA a little bit later on, okay? But as far as the NFL is concerned, at least from my standpoint, you might feel differently. At least from the NFL standpoint, even some of the games where you're going, it doesn't move my needle much, it's still got some intrigue. Like, who many people care about Cleveland hosting Cincinnati? Not many people probably outside Ohio, but there are a lot of storylines associated with that.
I was just about to say.
Specifically, that Cincinnati is 1-11 in the first couple of weeks under Zach Taylor, and it's really important that team get off to a really good start. The NFL schedule, I think, is really good. Which team or which game outside the Lions and Packers has you most excited? I think you kind of touched on it yesterday, and I don't suppose it's, no offense, it's not real hard. Buffalo hosting Baltimore is a marquee showdown, and we get it in week 1. This is a lot like college football and how many cool matchups we got in week 1 at the collegiate level.
Okay, we can get into the whole schedule because I love this show. I love today. Today's going to be a great day. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's stick with that for a second.
Okay.
Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. Here's a different way to phrase that question. Does any one of those quarterbacks have to win this game? Is this a must-win for either team and either quarterback?
So this is just my philosophy.
You don't believe in must-wins?
I don't believe in must-wins until they're actually a must-win. And you need to get into the playoffs. You need it for home field advantage, whatever. I don't think it's a must-win. You would know this better than I would. I find it really hard to believe that one team in week 1 of a new season has to have a must-win. Now, if you're talking about a player trying to set a stage and an example for the rest of the year, perhaps, because I think this is something, again, you can correct me, you can fall back on and recognize, hey, you know what? That Baltimore team's going to be there all year long. That Buffalo team's going to be there all year long. Baltimore goes into Buffalo and they win at Ralph Wilson Stadium, they feel pretty damn good. Buffalo holds serve, they feel pretty damn good. So I get both sides of it in that regard.
I agree 100%, but I will say that Lamar Jackson needs a good showing, and it will help them if they won this game. I think, watching them over the past 7 years as it relates to the end, once you get to the playoffs, once you get into the dance, whether they've had home field advantage or whether they've been away, they've struggled. He's struggled. The offensive coordinators who they keep switching out, the players that aren't playing, when they have the players, and you can say what you want to, they have struggled in the big moment. And I think starting the season with a win, remember how the game ended in Baltimore. Yeah. And I think a lot of times with players, those can be mental things that stick with you. And I think
especially Mark Andrews.
100%. So you're talking about Lamar Jackson, you're talking about Mark Andrews, and you're talking about a coach, realistically, and we love John Harbaugh because of the staple that the Baltimore Ravens have been for the past 15 years. They were that before he got there, but he's kept that, maintained that. A lot of come-up shorts. A lot of come-up shorts for him. So I think this is a really good opportunity for them to bounce back for how they finished that game and then start off the right way. It doesn't matter for me what the Bills do. The Bills will be there. Like Josh Allen has shown you in the playoffs, this is what I do. Like the playoffs, there are no questions about Josh Allen in the playoffs. Maybe 3 years ago, a couple turnovers.
But he hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl, so there is a question there.
But it's
couldn't get by Kansas City.
But is that Josh Allen or is that the defense? When you look at numbers, the numbers, and this is, I'm not supporting America's golden boy, but I'm being honest. When you look at the numbers in the playoffs, you got to start pointing to other things because it ain't him.
Okay. Do you not like him? Why do you refer to him as Golden Boy? Why is Lamar Jackson not the Golden Boy? He's won 2 MVPs, and everybody thinks he's
because Lamar Jackson had to get it out the mud. Like legitimately, after like year 2, year 3, it was always Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback in the league. Even when Patrick Mahomes was winning Super Bowls and ascending as a young guy, they still said Josh Allen was the guy. They still said Josh Allen's the heir apparent. Every year, they picked Josh Allen to supplant Patrick Mahomes, and guess what? He still hasn't done it yet. So I didn't like the fact that it was always Josh before he had done something.
Yeah, my recollection is with Josh Allen, the complaint was the fumbling. I don't look at him as a golden boy by any stretch. I think people were ripping on him, and rightfully so, for his turnover prowess,
right?
More than anything else. I suppose it's splitting hairs. I think both of them are top 4 quarterbacks, so it doesn't really matter. Which one of them is it more important to? I don't even know if it matters.
Okay.
I mean, I think at some point somebody down the road, week 14, will say, I remember when these two teams played. Look how good this guy was against certain competition. We can nitpick and we kind of pick and choose what we want to use for our defense or our offense against a specific player or team. But I don't think week 1 gives us any conclusion early on.
I don't think it gives us any conclusion, but I also think that it shows if Lamar Jackson, based on how the season ended last year for him and his head coach John Harbaugh, how the season ended, if they took all off season to come up with a game plan to go into Ralph Wilson Stadium night 1 on Thursday and take care of business and handle business, I think you start to believe in that team off top. You start to believe this is the team, because whoever wins this game is going to be the number 1 team in the NFL.
Would you,
ranking wise?
Well, Philadelphia might have something to say with that.
Yeah, but they're playing the Dallas Cowboys, so I'm not like, this is a big win. This is kind of like Ohio State, even though I didn't like the game, Ohio State, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You're 1-3, game 1, you win. Like, you're now number 1.
I get it. I think throughout a season, expectations can change. We don't know what these teams are yet. Yeah. So just because going in, I've said this about the Ohio State-Texas game going into it as well. Texas lost a lot of talent. They have talent, but they lost a lot of talent. I don't know what those teams are going to be like. We thought 2 years ago or last season Florida State was going to be really good, and they stunk up Tallahassee and the rest of the college football world. With this situation, to use that logic, then you would argue that Green Bay, it's a really important game for Matt LaFleur in Green Bay because he's lost 6 of 7, because the champions of the division the last 2 years are in town, because it is a home game, because that team that's coming to town is the one team that everybody is hunting for the most part.
You guys can't see that because the camera translucent the lighting, but it says FAX. Facts. Facts. That is 100% right. If Matt LaFleur's in game 1 with Jordan Love, Micah Parsons, and that Green Bay team, if they come out and stun the Lions, if they come out and get a win, yes, I would have to take Green Bay serious because the Lions are in Matt LaFleur's head. The Lions have owned Green Bay head-to-head the last 4 years now. You're talking about them going in there, and you guys are the one that were congruent. The Lions are the one that had the chemistry. The Lions are the ones that had all the players that you got the identity, and you got grit and villain, and all you guys are together all the time. You guys love each other. And you came in here and you didn't get it done. I think that would bode well for Matt LaFleur's. I think that would be bigger than just winning a game at home. It's beating the Lions, the teams that are tops in the division. And, oh, by the way, you just got a player two hours ago.
So a friend of mine earlier this year said Dak Prescott is going to be replaced by week 6 because Joe Milton can really throw it, okay? I'm not going to say who it is. I'm just going to point to them real quick. That would make tonight's game not a be-all, end-all, but a really important game for Dak Prescott. They're all important, I get it, but especially for Dak Prescott, considering the injury a year ago, considering what they've lost, considering that everybody feels like in order for them to win this year, they're going to have to outscore people, and he's going up against one of the best defenses a year ago in football and against, even though they don't play against one another, the MVP of the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts, who's way underrated.
It's going to be a major game. This is a major game for them. They only play this team twice, and this is their chance to get the jump on what they are. You look at this team, it doesn't bode well for the Dallas Cowboys. No. They got rid of Micah Parsons, who is a game wrecker. He is their game wrecker and has been for the last 4 years. You look at that secondary, they've been giving up a lot of big plays, whether it was Bland or whether it was Diggs. Mm-hmm. They give up a lot of plays in that secondary. So what is that secondary going to be? What does that defensive line look like without without Michael Parsons. Who was Matt Eberflus, who they told me when he got to Chicago, he was a defensive guru.
Right.
He's now your defensive coordinator in Dallas. What does that look like this year? Because I'm going to tell you like this, Dak, they gave you another weapon. And George Pickens, no run game, but they gave you another weapon. If it doesn't look well, you won't be the first quarterback in Dallas history to get replaced by injury when you're making a lot of money. In fact, they've had a couple of those guys. You will just be the next guy in line. And you know Jerry is feeling frisky, as you saw with the Michael Parsons move.
Yeah, I think it could be a long night for Dallas. Saquon Barkley averages about 5 yards per game against Dallas. At least he did a year ago in the 2 games against the Cowboys.
Who didn't?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a really good point. The Philly defense is so good. I think that's where, look, we use the word pressure. Yeah. Sometimes I can't stand it because it's all self-induced, and you guys have always been under pressure to perform. But I get the sense that Dallas might almost have a feeling that similar to what the Lions had against Washington, similar to what the Lions had against Buffalo, and that is when we have the football, we're going to have to score because we're going to have a hard time stopping them. Dallas is probably having a very similar internal discussion. We've got to start strong because that offense we know is going to put up points.
Yeah, 100%. You know A.J. Brown likes prime time. A.J. Brown's a prime time receiver. Mm-hmm. Devontae Smith isn't far behind him. Saquon Barkley and then Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a leader. What they're going to have to bank on talking about the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to have to attack those new players. That is one thing that the Eagles, they kind of gloss over because they are the Super Bowl champs, but they've made a lot of new moves. They've added some players. There's no more Darius Slay. So Cooper DeJean, though he had an interception in the Super Bowl for a touchdown on his birthday, all that sounds good. They put you in good space last year. Mm-hmm. Now what are you going to do as the number 1 cornerback with no Darius Slay? You know, what is Quinyon Mitchell going to be like? What is that defensive line going to look like with some departures? So that's early. I'm telling you, Dallas, you got to attack them often and early. You got to keep those guys off their feet. If it was me, I would go at Cooper DeJean, play one. Like make me believe that you're like that.
I love what Philly has been saying though. I'm sure you read all about it as well. The Eagles have forgotten about last year. I mean, they're not believing in any hangover. They've already said, look, this is not about us getting rings. It's not about us putting the trophy on display. We already did that in the parade. We did it a year ago, post-celebration. This is about handling Dallas. They've already turned the page. How difficult do you think that is for a team?
It's immensely difficult, but I only believe it for one reason. It's the guy we talked about yesterday, and I apologize. That's Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts because they said that same thing when Nick Foles won, and then they disappeared. And they fell off. And then they went back to the Super Bowl, started getting better at it, and then they went this year, this past season, and they won. I believe it because it's the leader. It's the guy on that team. It's the guy when they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs that was sitting on the bench, and you can see how he was.
You can feel it.
You can feel how he was taking the loss in, how he was taking the game in, how he was taking the performance, the all of it. He talks about keeping that memory in his locker, even though last season they got the job done and they won the Super Bowl against the same team that they lost. So it's him. You have to have faith in him. And I've heard him. I've heard his rhetoric. I've seen it on social where he's the guy saying, we're going back to back. Like he said that. We are going back to back.
That's not braggadocious. That's confidence.
He feels it.
Yeah. There is a guy.
He believes it, I should say.
No, he does, and he should.
Yeah.
But it's not just talk. There's a lot of guys who just do that. You know what? We're going to win back-to-back. We're going to win 3 in a row. Michael Irvin and those guys said it when the Cowboys, and they came up short against
LeBron James
the 49ers.
when he got to Miami.
Yeah.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Now, with Jalen Hurts, he truly feels that, and everybody should have confidence. You have supreme confidence, and that's part of the reason that separates athletes from the mere mortals. However, with Jalen Hurts, who's not a talker, he's not a yapper, he's not prime time, he's not the guy who runs down and says, look at me. He does it for what's best to the team. I truly believe that's the mindset, and I think that mindset seems to have permeated throughout the entire locker room in Philadelphia.
One thing about Philly, they knew what they had in Jalen Hurts. In this sense, they didn't necessarily know. They were hoping that Jalen Hurts could be, what he almost was in college, and obviously he got there. But when you watch him, when you look at where he's come from, everywhere he's gone, he's been around great teams.
Yeah.
He's been around great teams at Alabama for 3 years. He was around a great team, and I won't say great, but they were damn good in that Oklahoma team that came up short. Hollywood Brown, et cetera, et cetera. And then he's a part of 2 great Super Bowl teams. One got it done, one didn't. He's been around the talent. He's seen it over and over and over again. So he's not lying. He's not mincing words. He believes it because he's seen it. Like Jalen Hurts, more than anybody can show you what a champion looks like because he's been around it.
He's led them. He hasn't just been around it, right? He's led them to those.
And that's the final part.
Yeah.
It's the leading of those teams. It's the leading of that Super Bowl team last year. Even the one that lost, even the one that came up short, he couldn't figure it out, but Tua did. Like, so he's always been there.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought up, the leadership aspect of Jalen Hurts, because I've been racking my brain for the last week of trying to figure out why people aren't believing in the Lions as much as perhaps I am, or Kool-Aid. Nobody could believe in him more than Kool-Aid, not even Sheila. But
Steak is close.
Yeah, but I truly believe it's because of Jared Goff. I mean, I know what people are saying. We had Dave Burkett on yesterday. We had some. It was a really good segment. In case you missed any of it, go back and try to find it because it was really good. We talked about the coordinators. He mentioned the interior part of the offensive line. I think the quiet part that needs to be said out loud, and it's not that you and I feel this way because I'm in belief of him, but I think the quiet part that needs to be said out loud is people just don't believe in Jared Goff. And I'm talking about nationally. I think Lions fans do. I think most of the media does. I know that locker room does, and I know that coaching staff does. There is no doubt about it. And that's all, as you as an NFL player would need to know this more than anybody, or do know this better than anybody. That's all you care about. You don't give a crap what I think, what Kool-Aid thinks, what Ryan thinks. You care about what your teammates and your coaches think. With Jared Goff, I think there's a lot of doubt for people. And I'm wondering where that stems from. Just based on last year's game or what?
No, I want to get you in on this one, but I don't think they ever truly, fully believed in Jared Goff. If you're talking about the outside world, I don't think they ever believed in Goff. I think how the situation played out in Los Angeles, you can blame whoever you want to blame. We're just talking about facts. How it played out, Sean McVay in the middle of the night, making a move in Cabo, bringing in Matt Stafford. Now here comes Jared Goff. Jared Goff's here. People no longer believe in him. You look at what the score of that Super Bowl was. You said there's only one person that gets the credit, win or lose. So that ugly Super Bowl that you saw, which, by the way, thank you for wasting my time. That ugly Super Bowl you saw, it was 10-3, where the only play in that game was a Rob Gronkowski catch for 47 yards towards the end of the game. Like, that was Jared Goff. That's how they view Jared Goff. They forgot about the Jared Goff in 2017 that beat Patrick Mahomes in the Monday Night Showdown. That was supposed to be overseas. So he gets shipped here. And then you see it goes kind of decent. Then he starts to pick up steam, makes the Pro Bowl in 23. Yeah, you still don't necessarily believe in him. He's still the same old Jared Goff. But he has his genius, Ben Johnson. And then last year, you start to believe in him if you're the outside world. Even though he had the 5 interceptions against the Texans, you're still like, no, he's still finding a way to win. He's finding ways to win. You look at the efficiency. He has more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes over the past 3 years. Man, maybe we need to give this guy a chance. Here's 5 turnovers against the Washington Commanders. Against and when you had home field advantage, when it was 15-2 season for you, whether it's fair or not, fair is irrelevant.
No, you're right.
Like, that's the lasting memory of Jared Goff. When you're someone that people don't like, or people have already wrote an opinion of, like, it takes so much for you to be able to change their mind.
It's almost impossible.
It's almost impossible. And when you get people to a point where now it's like, I'm about to change my 5 turnovers.
Yeah, right. You and I have both lived that, okay? You on the field, me in the booth. I get it, all right? Yeah. What I've said, my son was watching the show yesterday, and he said, Dad, Braylon brought up some really good points about the 5 interception game against Houston. I said, yeah, but the next week, what did he do? He went out and led them to a blowout win over Jacksonville. My son says, it's just Jacksonville. I said, okay, how about Buffalo? In a loss, how come we're not talking about Jared Goff, 496 yards and 5 touchdowns, no picks? We're not, because it's a loss, right? But those were his numbers against a really good Buffalo team.
What did those numbers look like when it was still a fight? And that's the only thing I would say about
Well, I think that game was pretty much up and down. I mean, that was a pretty good fight.
Buffalo owned that game from start to finish.
Yeah, because you couldn't stop them.
If you say it was a fight, Shep, you're being biased. Buffalo dominated that game.
Yes, they did, offensively.
Exactly, offensively. Detroit had some chances, but they blew them early. Yeah. And by the time Jared really started putting up those numbers into the third quarter, the whole fourth quarter, the game is already, in my opinion, done. So 496, hell of a game, but it's a skewed image, in my opinion.
Copy. I do believe, though, a lot of people look at him and say, like, I always wonder this. He gets to a Super Bowl, and I'm not comparing him to guys like Dan Marino, so please don't take it that way. Dan Marino's one of the all-time greatest passers in league history.
I wish he would have won the Super Bowl.
Joe Montana said he's the best he's ever seen. Okay, that resonates with me. When you tell me a certain wide receiver is the best they ever seen, it means more to me than if Ryan tells me that. With all due respect to Ryan, okay, because it's hard to impress. It's really
Come on
it's really hard to impress guys who've done it at the highest level. Okay, Dan Marino went to one Super Bowl.
Yeah, year two. Year two.
Yeah, Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that. That doesn't mean he's better than Josh Allen, who hasn't been. Doesn't mean he's better than Lamar Jackson, who hasn't been. But that's got to hold some credence, doesn't it?
It does. What it says right now, and until he proves it differently, it says that if I have the right situation, if I have the right players, and you put me in the right space, oh yeah, I'm a number one quarterback. I can do it. Like you give me Todd Gurley, who still is 5th in touchdowns in the last 15 years, and I don't know how long he's played. How long it's been since he played his last game? You give me Todd Gurley and Sean McVay, we can figure some things out. You give me Jahmyr Gibbs and this offense that they had the last 2 years and Ben Johnson, we figured it out. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what he is. You give him an offensive line, which they had with Andrew Wentworth. You give him some players. He can cook. But he could cook with the best of them, but he's not closing that door. He doesn't have that game to where you're like, all right, you don't need to be in the perfect place with the perfect coach and perfect offensive coordinator. You actually can make things happen as well.
Is there a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl that hasn't had a strong supporting cast or coaching?
Everyone's had a strong supporting cast.
Exactly.
Everyone has.
So why would we hold it against Jared Goff and bring up Todd Gurley? We don't bring up Jerry Rice with Joe Montana. We don't bring up
because Joe Montana made that pass against the Dallas Cowboys when he found Dwight Clark.
Yeah.
Like that. Obviously, that was an amazing catch by Dwight Clark. That catch was flawless. That pass, that effort, that little bit of extra to roll to the right sideline, give him just a little jab, and then put it in a place where only Dallas Clark can catch it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start to say, we know you had John Taylor, we know you had Roger Craig, we know you had Jerry Rice, but damn it, that's something.
Yeah. So that's a great point. There are certain moments in athletes' careers that stand out.
For whatever you want to say about Eli Manning. That pass that he throws to, not to David Tyree.
No.
Like, luck is luck. The pass he threw to Mario Manningham on the sideline is one of the greatest passes I have ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Everything you say about him in the regular season is true. But when you talk about the playoffs and that Super Bowl, please don't forget that throw.
Amen to that. Because, look, you can say what you want about that dude. He won 2 Super Bowls. He was MVP for both of them.
Nonchalantly.
There's something to be said for that. I mean, we can, like you started the conversation. It's hard to change people's minds. I agree 100%. Doesn't matter if it's sports or whatever. But with Jared Goff, I think he's got to change some national narrative here. People's minds. Not people in Detroit. I think they believe in him. But he's got to change some people's minds. And perhaps that's what the Lions have to do in general, too. Maybe that is why people are jumping off the proverbial bandwagon and considering just the last 2 years their best shot. Don't get why you would consider the last year their best shot when they were besieged by injuries. But that's what a lot of people are saying.
Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
No, I was just going to say, I take a lot of stock into what the conversation is, and it's good conversation right now. Shout out to the chat, man. Definitely go ahead and smash that like button.
Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen.
Shep, you brought up a good point there. What team hasn't had this? And when you look at them shipping out Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford, for all the talent that Matthew Stafford has, the Rams still felt the need to go and put more around him than I thought that they even put around Jared Goff, who got them to a Super Bowl. Sometimes I do wonder, if you go out there and you do some of these tweaks around Jared Goff, do you still go out there and win that Super Bowl? And that's where I do believe the question is this. Until Stafford won a Super Bowl, for as talented as we knew he was, because we went to bat for Stafford. It didn't matter. We knew how talented he was. Not until he won that Super Bowl. Until now, it doesn't matter what he is after. Even if he misses games, you don't hear any stat. Padford, you don't hear any. He's injury prone. He's a champion.
Well, that was a moron who played linebacker named Zach Follett. He was just an absolute idiot.
But also,
absolute idiot.
And that's where I do believe that for the Lions and for Jared Goff, they're both entering into an era where you got to win that Super Bowl. That's where I believe all narrative goes away, no matter how talented you are. Jared Goff does find himself at the top of these rankings at the end of every single season. But I believe it resets.
Yeah,
why? Because
to Braylon's point, it's a good one. When I say Jim Kelly, what do you think of?
4 losses.
Right. When I think of when I say Fran Tarkenton, what do you think of?
I never got it done.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where it is. It's so hard to get there.
Meanwhile,
we can't even imagine.
Meanwhile, quarterbacks that aren't as good as them, they get a Super Bowl or Super Bowl win. It's like, oh man, like you can't tell me that Bart Starr is better than Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, Bart Starr is pretty damn good. I didn't watch him, but his numbers are impressive. His film's pretty good. Yeah, Fran Tarkenton was unique. There's no question. I loved watching Fran Tarkenton. I loved to watch him at Georgia, and I loved watching him with the Vikings, who happened to be one of my
in college.
Well, I watched film of them. Yeah,
okay,
I saw some. I saw a few documentaries, and I watched some film of them because I really, when I was a kid, I loved Fran Tarkenton.
I thought your birth certificate was gonna say 40s or 50s.
No. I definitely. It wasn't live, and it wasn't. Besides, they also didn't have that stuff on TV. But if you watch some documentaries, is what I'm referring to. Loved watching him while he was in college, run around. Look, Archie Manning was unbelievable at Ole Miss.
He played for the Aints.
And he played for the Aints, right? Yeah. And I guess my point is, it's so hard. You've talked to us off air about this. It's so hard to win every single week. Getting to a Super Bowl. I mean, Brett Favre's got one. Everybody, and
been
he's
to back to back, only won one.
Yeah, but only one. Aaron Rodgers has one. Man, I mean it's.
But there are quarterbacks that have like this type of persona where it's unfair that they didn't win. Who's a better quarterback in your opinion, Phillip Rivers or Jared Goff?
Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
But I'm just saying, but Phil's another one of those guys. Because he didn't win the Super Bowl, because he didn't have the moment in the playoffs, they always came up short. Whether you want to blame LaDainian for not playing or saying he was cold, they always came up short in the big game. Like, legitimately, like, we were a team. I played for the New York Jets in 2009, got traded to the team. We should have made the playoffs. Like, it came down to the last game of the season. We beat the Bengals. Then we go to Cincinnati in the first week of the playoffs. We beat the Bengals. The Chargers were the number 1 seed. Or 2. They were 1 or 2. They were excited. They took us lightly, and they should have. But they shouldn't. And we go in there and we beat them, and it wasn't hard. Like, it was not hard. Phillip Rivers, they told me all this about who Phillip Rivers is. I'm like, hey, who? This guy? Yeah. This is it. This is LT.
Yeah, remember, the Chargers got rid of Drew Brees. For Phillip Rivers.
Deservingly so for what they
No,
were
I get
doing.
it. Yeah, I totally get it. But look what Drew Brees became. It's not a knock on Phillip Rivers. But Brees wins the Super Bowl. True. Rivers didn't. Brees goes and sets all kinds of records.
Because he got with Sean Payton. He got lucky. At the end of the day, going back to Phillip Rivers, he didn't get that win. He didn't have that moment. So now you don't look at Phillip Rivers for how good he was coming out of North Carolina State. You look at was it insert player? Because he played with 4 Hall of Fame offensive players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He played with how many running backs that you can name? You know, it gets to that. If you can't have that moment, if you can't, that Dwight Clark, if you don't get that, if you don't get the win and get lucky, shoot, there's quarterbacks that won and it wasn't because of him, but they won and they can have that. If you don't have that, now we're talking about you like Phillip Rivers. Now we're talking that you fall
now
into
we're
that.
Talking about you like Jared Goff.
Warren Moon.
Well, they're in Warren Moon was phenomenal, but you know the loss in Buffalo when he was
Frank Reich.
Yeah, when Frank Reich beat them. And they were up massive. It's the largest comeback win in NFL playoff history. Warren Moon was the quarterback for the Houston Oilers at the time. But you bring up something interesting with Phillip Rivers. The number of running backs. Look at the great wide receivers, including the great Antonio Gates, Hall of Famer, Detroiter. Shout out. Go ahead. Shout out.
Hey,
yeah,
shout out.
And look at what Jared Goff has had to work with. How many people are out there thinking to themselves, you got a top 5 wide receiver, top 10 for sure, but at least we think top 5. You've got a top 5 running back.
He is top 5.
Okay, you've got a top 5 tight end, and you've got a guy who changes the game with his speed and his ability.
Did you forget about Penei Sewell? And are you talking about skill players?
Correct. Yeah. And then especially the offensive line of a year ago.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where, as much as it is as a blessing for him. I think a lot of people also use it as a reason on why either A, he's failed for not getting him there, or B, who couldn't else get him there. I'm not saying he's the next, the Jerry Jones stupid comment, 500 coaches could win with this team, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who feel like, you know what, there's a lot of quarterbacks who could go out there and win with this type of talent.
Until you win, that's how they talk about you. Look at Jalen Hurts. Like, look at the Super Bowl Jalen Hurts had 4 years ago.
It's a good example.
Look how good that Super Bowl was. He didn't get any of that credit. It was A.J. Brown. We paid him $200 million to come over from the Tennessee Titans. Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell. Like, all the backs that they had. And, oh, by the way, still the best offensive line. Nick Sirianni got credit in there. Everyone, Shane Steichen got the credit. Oh, he revived Jalen Hurts' career. Like, that was all you heard. Not so much now. But even now he's got the win, and it's, can he get it done again? Like, certain quarterbacks and certain individuals, they will give the talent all the credit.
Yeah. And that's why it's hard to change people's minds right there, because they had a predetermined belief on how good or how bad he was going to be, or he's just a quote-unquote game manager, which I can't stand. He just can only manage the game. All you got to do is get it to Devontae Smith. All you have to do is get it to A.J. Brown. Who couldn't turn and hand off to Saquon Barkley and watch the best offensive line in football go to work?
Daniel Jones. The only thing you said best offensive line, so kind of negated the comment. They were so upset that Saquon Barkley didn't win MVP. That was an easy conversation. Oh, see, Saquon Barkley won. Not yet. That's why. It's the offensive line, Saquon Barkley. Him not winning, him not having the game, and Jalen having it. Now we got to be a little bit more honest.
I do wonder if he plays the final week and has, remember, they sat him out. If he plays the final week and he breaks the record, if that discussion is changed. Now, Saquon Barkley did finish second, to his point. But you're always going to have debates about who the MVP should be and shouldn't be. I mean, you could bring up 1941 in baseball, and you could see how in the world did Ted Williams, who batted .406, and that included sacrifice flies, as an at-bat.
Politics.
Should have been batting. He would have batted .410 if sacrifice flies didn't count as an at-bat like they do today. He would have batted .410. They gave it to Joe DiMaggio because the Yankees won, and he had a 56-game hitting streak. And yet Ted Williams had all those great numbers that led the league. But so you're right.
But that's tough though, because like DiMaggio deserved it. Like
I would debate that. I think Ted Williams deserved it. Is my point.
Well, I'm saying in terms of what we know the award to be, like he won the World Series, and then he had a streak that still hasn't been broken.
It's voted on before the World Series though. But it's the Yankees, and a lot of that helps.
But that's why I said politics.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm supporting your point.
See, if Ted was nicer, if Ted was more personable, this is one thing I know about Ted. Ted wasn't necessarily a personable dude. He was to himself. He wrote his books. He's the best hitter of all time. Ted stayed to himself. They called him to go to war. Ted said, "Look, I'll holler at y'all in 4 years. I got to roll. I got to go do this. Then I'm gonna come back." When you're not personable, when you don't have that persona, when you don't have that jazz, like Joe DiMaggio was out in Times Square wearing suits, dating Marilyn Monroe. Like everybody want a piece of that.
It's the Joe Namath effect. I'll wear sunglasses, no offense, Braylon, and I'll wear a fur coat. I'll sit by the pool. I'll tell everybody the Jets are going to win, and then I'll go out, lose more games than win, throw more interceptions than touchdowns, and have a 50% completion percentage. We're back with the Braylon Edwards Show. A little bit later on, we will talk about why the NBA can't get this one thing right. I know, it's very strange. It's not strange to call Ben Johnson, though.
Justice, it means different things to different people, but whether it's a settlement or a verdict, Ben Johnson will be here for you. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers, that's what they are. Ben is a fighter, nicknamed The Fighter. VenFights.com, that's what you want to do. Look, you get your case together, you bring your case over to Ben Johnson Law, and they'll make sure you get the justice that you deserve. Whether it's a trial or a settlement, it does not matter. They want it all, they want all the smoke. Let them work the case for you. Let them represent you. Bring your business to Ben Johnson Law. Get them at VenFights.com.
Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan that QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards Pierce and Shep, Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belizean. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network. Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports. WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Planet Fitness is for everyone, man. Whether you're a routine gym goer, whether you're just a novice trying to figure it out, let Planet Fitness be your gym. Metropolitan and Detroit locations. Simply put, man, it is the best gym. It's squeaky clean. Talking about the gym, talking about the locker room, but also too, man, there's no judgment. You want to work out at a gym that doesn't judge you, so Planet Fitness, they will not judge you. And then also, it's important about the price. What's the price look like? Well, they have fitness that fits into your budget, not trying to hit you over the head. This is where you come. This is where you work out. This is where you get it in. Join me at Planet Fitness today.
Okay, back with you here on the Braylon Edwards Show. And Sun Cruiser is another one of those wonderful drinks that you want to use tonight.
Very smooth.
Yeah, it's very smooth. Tonight, you're going to be watching. I know you are. Look, the Tigers aren't on tonight, all right? There's no NBA. There's
Gotta
no
win,
NHL.
thank God.
Okay? Here's what you have. You have the NFL to itself. And you're going to be sitting in front. You're going to probably, if you're coming home late, you're going to eat your dinner in front of the TV. You want your family time, I understand that, but overall, what you're going to do is you're going to sit down, you're going to enjoy it, and you've had a long day. You want to unwind a little bit. So what do? And I get it. The thing about Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea is they talk about Sundays, being a lot smoother. Every day is a lot smoother. There's a Thursday night game. There's a Friday night game. There's college football on Saturday, and then you've got a full slate of NFL games on Sunday. It doesn't get much smoother than that unless you're drinking Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea and watching it here on Woodward Sports with the reaction to the Lions game. It's real vodka. It's real iced tea. There's no bubbles. It's crisp. It's clean. It's delicious. It's perfect for your game day. If you're going to go play golf with Braylon, he's out there going to play maybe 9, 18 holes later on today or the next day.
I'm on break.
You better get it back. Okay? The Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea is the perfect time in a golf cart to relax and enjoy. It's only 100 calories. It's 4.5% alcohol. It's perfect for tailgating. It's perfect for golf outings. It's perfect just relaxing. So let the good times cruise, everybody, with Sun Cruiser and Woodward Sports, but please drink responsibly. We love all the sports that we cover here. The NHL, as Braylon pointed out, doesn't do a lot wrong. We may not always like it. I think a lot of it's phony. I think
switch one of those letters up.
I think Roger Goodell is a salesman, all right, and that bothers me.
$64 million salesman, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm going to say to athletes and coaches, go get as much as you can, I guess I would say the same thing to Roger Goodell. I'm not going to hold that against him. Do I think he's worth it? No, but I'm not going to hold it against him. What I don't like is, I'm going to sit here and talk about how important it is for us to look out for our athletes and then do what he does. But I've gone on that rant before. There's no need to repeat it.
Gotcha.
The NFL does a lot of things right, except for the Pro Bowl. That is a laughing stock. Let's just watch a game of tag on ESPN 14. It's the same thing. The NBA does a lot of things right as well. They market their athletes well. They play international games. They have a lot of international players. It's really good. The one thing they can't get right for some reason or another.
I see you ran out of stuff to talk about the NBA, but I'm not going to say anything.
What's that?
You named like 2 things.
Yeah, I know.
They could get it right.
I know. They could get But the NBA All-Star format is comical.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it's embarrassing. So a lot of changes. What used to be an 8-player format way back in the day, the first 24 All-Star games, then between 1951, the first All-Star game, and 2012, they had designated center slots. Then they had a draft in 2018. It changed again in 2020, and then 2024, they went back to East versus West. For some reason, they want to name them after ESPN talent, and they had small quarters. Now they're going to do something different. Somehow, some way, ESPN's reporting, somehow, some way, they got together in a conference room similar to those here at Lady Jane's and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make up 3 teams. 2 American, 1 international. You're going to have 8 players. They're going to play a Ryder Cup format for 12 minutes. This is what ESPN's reporting. There it is. 2 USA teams, 1 world squad, play each other in 12-minute quarters. Governors, team executives, players discuss the format positively within the competition committee meeting on Wednesday. Do you like this format?
Trash.
Amen. If not, what's the alternative?
This format is trash, and I think any other format that they'll come up with is trash because it got to the point where they no longer care, and you can't add the care. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. When they start doing the draft, maybe for a brief moment, I thought maybe this could be something. I think it was year 1. I like the joke when they were laughing at James Harden that they had to pick him up. That was cool. But it's gone off the rails. It's been off the rails for a very long time. At least when it got to the point where it was 150, 60, 70 points, you still had some form of a dunk contest with Zach LaVine. That's gone by the wayside. You don't even have that anymore. So it's one of those things where you just have to understand what it is and move on. They won't ever get this back on track because they make too much money. Like, they are not interested in anything you do. Every year is, well, here's $1 million. What if we do $1 million for a dunk contest? Like, you can't get people that you want in the dunk contest because they make $60 million a year.
Right.
So they don't care about that $1 million.
Even though fans want to see it.
But they don't care about the fans. Yeah. They care about the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, they care about the fans when they need them. They care about the fans when shoes come out. Mm-hmm. We need somebody to buy these shoes, but they no longer care because they made too much money, so they're not interested in losing for the sake of winning $1 million. Also, it's the ego. Like, I don't want to be in the dunk contest and I lose to insert 4 superstars. I don't want to be LeBron and lose to Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing that you will ever do to get this back on track. There's nothing the NCAA can do to get this back on track. Like, here we are.
I think they can. First of all, I would ditch the 2 USA teams, 1 world squad with 8 players each.
Right.
Okay? And I would make it 2 teams. I would make it Team USA against 1 world. This is the hard part. They don't want it to be an Olympic type thing. But here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to copy what the NHL did last year and that was so successful.
Yeah.
All right? And they won't be able to do it. That's fine. Accept it. If you make 2 teams and there are enough world players to really make 2 world teams. If you're going to go 2 Team USAs of 8 players, you could do 2 world teams.
You but Canada, Serbia, and France, and you'll have 20 guys.
Hoopers, bro.
Yeah.
You have 20 hoopers just with those 3 countries.
Passion. You wouldn't have to pay them to go out there and battle that way, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I would hope you wouldn't. Maybe you would, but even if you did, you make so much money off.
Yeah.
Think about how much more popular this would be than what you get right now, and the positive feedback you would get, not just from fans, but media. Let me just do this real quick, okay? And then we'll move back to football, I promise. You've got the international team, the world team, if you will, and you're trying to tell me only 1 world squad of 8. Yeah. I'm going to name these players, and I want you to just stop me when you wouldn't want them on your team, all right? Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Pascal Siakam, Nikola Jokic, Domantas Sabonis, Franz Wagner, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Rudy Gobert.
Stop.
Yeah.
I don't want him on my team.
Okay, he can come off the bench. Lauri Markkanen.
We like stuff.
I like him.
Okay.
Yes, Lord.
There's 8. Victor Wembanyama. There's 10 guys.
That
okay?
team could beat America.
Bro, that's a really good team.
Bring
our team.
Bring
Right.
Laurie to the Pistons
Right.
too while we're at it.
What's that?
Bring Laurie to the Pistons too while we're at
Hey,
it.
I've been one of 3 years.
Bojan Bogdanovic off the bench.
I love his grit,
the-
and
the-
he can shoot.
DeAndre Ayton. Okay. That's so well. Okay,
You can have him.
There's 12 guys.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could go Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 13 guys. How many guys do you need for one really good team? If you had one good Team USA against one world team, you only need 12 players. I think we named off at least 11 that you would agree with are really good players.
Yeah, but they don't want those teams. Like they don't want the foreign team to win. They don't want to win.
Okay.
Like, that's why it's 2 USA teams and 1 foreign team. They don't want them to win. They already they like to add the foreign ball because that's how you get everybody involved. That's why it's an international game. That's how you can extend overseas. That's how you can get pairs because you got women. That's how you get enter Spain, enter Serbia. So they like that part.
How about Segun?
They don't like them winning.
I like Airport Sengun.
So I like Sengun from Houston.
Okay.
I like
so there's
Sengun a lot.
15 guys we just named. Okay.
They don't want them to win. Now you come over here and win like they.
Then if you
they're
know
fine
that,
with 100%.
then why would the world team even agree to that then? If they know that the odds are so stacked against them.
I don't know if the world each team either one knows or one had a choice.
Yeah. It's really too bad. Who are the 8 players going to be for that world team? Because you could
Jason
make
Tatum.
you could make the argument.
Oh, I guess it's this year, and I guess he's hurt, so it'll be this year.
No, I'm talking about for the world
For
team,
the world, yeah.
not the American team.
Oh, you just named him, didn't you?
Definitely.
Well, I mean, who would be those 8 guys? We
SGA.
named 15.
No, it'll be the first 8 you said.
Luka.
Okay, all right,
Like,
Yeah.
Luka,
good.
Luka,
Jokic.
Wemby, Jokic.
right. I like Siakam,
Wemby, what is it? Giannis,
Shea Gilgeous.
Shea, for sure. That's 5. Joel Embiid, regardless of what you feel about him, he'll be on that team.
He could play for either team. Let me take that back. He could play for either Team USA or the world team. I don't mean he could play for either team, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
He changes hat.
Well.
Shout out Shep.
So eight guys of the best world team. I think you can make 2 teams, and if you just want to do one, that would be the fix. I don't want to see a team play for 12 minutes.
How long does that team play for? At 8 and 8. Like how long is that? Because they're not gonna. If you use 8 and 8,
It's 12 minutes, so it's going to be
and then it's game's over.
yeah, and then it's over.
And you know what, man? Look, I went this year, this to the last one that was out at Golden State, San Francisco. Took the family and everything, and it was awesome to be there for Cade's first All-Star appearance.
Right.
When Asar played,
you saw him play 5 minutes. That was worth the ticket. Jesus,
He's about to levitate.
it's
That's-
unbelievable.
He almost levitated.
but no, because every All-Star game, if our guys were in there, I knew we were going to get more than 5 minutes, and it was good cohesive basketball. Even if you knew that there was a blowout in the first half, you knew I can't wait to the last
Dude, you
7
played
to
up
8
to
minutes
40
of that.
points.
It was
Come on,
it was
it's not
epic
good
to me, man.
basketball.
It seemed like Cade was out there like that. He got the dunk that we got up on the back wall. My kid went crazy, and then that was just kind of it. It was like, whoa. Where is this guy who's putting up insane numbers?
I understand that, but
There were others robbed, too.
But it's not about
5
It's
minutes.
not about Cade, and it's not about the Pistons. It's about the game of basketball and what is right for the game of basketball and what's right for the NBA. Whether it's right for Cade Cunningham or not, I don't care.
Same
No
thing happened
offense.
with Wemby.
I care about what happens with the league. They're not handling things the right way. This is a bad look for the league, and I want to know why they can't figure it out.
Because they gave the players too much power, and that sounds crazy coming from a player, but they gave the players too much power. They gave the players the league. They can do what they want, say what they want, have the opinions they want, and they can negate things that they don't want, and they don't want this. They don't want the All-Star game. They don't want the dunk contest. They don't want those things. They are now above, in their minds, what that represents. Man, Man, what? I was about to say all pro, but I'm all NBA 4 times in a row. Blah blah blah. You playing a dunk contest, a shooting contest?
No, I was just gonna say that Shep is right too. And I use Cade for our little neck of the woods. And when you look at the grander scale, I did want to see some of these other All-Stars get a little bit more time on the court. Like even our bigger All-Stars. Do you know how crazy it is to sit there and hear them say to people like Cade and Ant-Man and others, "Hey, who's the face of the league?" And then you play the actual All-Star game, and it's like none of those guys are getting the time.
Right. I want to see a basketball game. I don't want to see a basketball quarter.
Yeah.
All right. I want to see a basketball game.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
You may not look. We may get mad at when they start scoring 170, 180. I remember like Russell Westbrook when he was MVP. That was my guy. Like it was. I still rock with Russell. Like when he won last MVP, Russell had 51 points. So regardless of how many points he scored, he was putting forth effort. Like when I turned on the TV, I knew that I was going to see some players try to have fun, try to put up some points, talk some stuff, play a lick of defense, try to do the things. It was effort there. You turn on the game last year, there's no effort, there's no care. Like it's not even care anymore. Like LeBron came in for all of 6 minutes. I don't know why, scored the first 3 points, and then he got up out of there.
Yeah.
And the points were just la-di-da, ho-hum. This is 3 minutes into the game. It's 3 minutes into the game, and one of your most important figureheads is showing you that I really can be out here in some pajamas. Like I really could have on like a Santa suit. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He could have a drink in hand. It didn't matter.
They do not care. And it sucks, but that's where it is.
Yeah. No, it's really too bad that they can't get it right, and I can't get past the fact that there's somebody in a conference room and they're going, "Here's the idea," and a consensus. Everyone goes, "I like that. That's really good." I mean, they don't learn from their mistakes.
NBA feels like Apple once Steve Jobs passed away. And when I'm talking about, obviously I'm talking about David Stern.
Yeah, it feels like, it really feels like they've lost touch.
Yeah.
And they're not listening to the right people. And it's really too bad.
The focus is on the international game. The focus is on everything across the Atlantic, and it's no longer what we care about here at home. It's not a domestic problem.
Yeah.
They connected more with streamers. I know last year it was a big push to get with a lot of those streamers, and they had them out there from the Mr. Beast to Drewski to Kai, and it missed the point. So you got all the streamer world looking at it, but what about the people who showed up? What about the people who've watched these games for years and are looking for what the All-Star game at least is used to feel like? And it wasn't that at all. They were catering to a completely different audience.
It's very similar to going to the movies today. Like when you go to movies, like every time I leave a movie theater, and this is why I've had to change my kind of like my critique of a movie, or when I tell somebody about a movie, or when I share with you, hey, I went and saw this comic book movie, or I went and saw this. And you got to dumb down your expectations. You know why, Shep? Because I'm no longer the target audience. Like, I'm not the target audience. You're not the target audience of these movies. It's younger. It's the different wave. It's what this is becoming. It's the same thing like Kool-Aid is saying with this brand of basketball. It's not to us. This ain't for us. This isn't what we care about. This isn't for us to talk about the nostalgia and remember those turquoise uniforms, the San Antonio, the code. It's not about that. It's about the influencers. It's about the brands. It's about how this world is trending. Has nothing to do with what we want. It's what's trending. And I guess stuff like this is trending.
Yeah, I think that's the disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I have all the answers, but the disappointment for me is I look at what's best for the greater good. And I always felt like the greater good of the NBA, and again, this sounds like old guy, that's all right. When Magic Johnson's playing against Isaiah Thomas, I want to see that. I want to watch that. And I think those two guys had a lot of pride on playing against one another. It's not like they were hacking one another. This was not Bill Laimbeer against Robert Parrish inside. This is about two guys who said, you know what, you're my friend. I'm going to one-up you here today. I can't wait to win the MVP. And now it has turned into, let's go to the Y and let's figure out who's going to pick teams and play from there. First man to 10 wins by one.
Who's going to win MVP of this football season?
It's a great question.
That's what I want to know.
And it's a great transition.
Who's going to be the MVP? Because I think all three of us have different take on that this year.
And just one quick note from the NFL via Ian Rappaport as well. Come back no more. Raiders wide receiver Amari Cooper has informed the team that he no longer has a desire to play and intends to retire per the insiders. So,
yep, I knew not to pick him up in fantasy football. It's crazy people that did. Crazy people that did. Yeah. He had 200 yards. He had 200 yards in the game last year, I think, too.
I think he did. But
2 years ago.
To his point, I mean, and you can relate, your heart's got to be in it.
Yeah.
I say this to people all the time, especially in your sport. If you don't like practicing, you're going to have a problem because you practice more than you play. And that's what the NFL is, and it always has been because of the violent sport that it is. When we come back, we will talk about our predictions for the NFL season. We would love to see some of yours in the chat as well, so make sure you hit us up here on the Braylon Edwards Show. I want you to hit up Les Stanford Buick GMC as well if you're in the market for a new car. Whether it be buying or leasing, they've got it for you. And I want you to think of some of these great deals. Like, you see deals all over the place, and some of them are a little misleading. These are not, folks. How about the 2025 EV SUT Hummer, $599 a month plus tax, or the 2025 Hummer EV SUT, $699. The Sierra Double Cab, look at that. The Elevation, a brand new one, is just $169 plus tax. They have got so much to offer for you. Their fleet/inventory is incredible. Check them out on their website. Go to lesstanford.com.
Looking for a sparkling clean ride? Well, take yourself to Jack's Car Wash. In fact, we'll get you started. Text WSN to 888-522-1729 and get yourself a free car wash, man. Look, the summer is still here. The sun is still beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. You want to have a clean car wash, and you need to do it with Jack's. 40-plus locations around the state of Michigan. Also, man, they have free vacuums, free compressed air. They have all the works to make your car as shiny as you want it to be. And make sure you take advantage of the Unlimited Club. See, there's the ticket, $29.99 a month.
Yeah.
And you can get a car wash every day of the month. I'm telling you, man, that's the deal you want. That's the deal I have. That's the deal you should have. So come on to Jack's Car Wash and get yourself cleaned off today.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports. Every Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belizean. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Dr. Jeff Pierce is your injury insider. 248-426-9944. He's the guy that will get you right. Here's the guy that when the Red Wings were winning Stanley Cups, he was right there on the sideline as well. Michigan Sports and Spine is where he's located at, man. And it's not all about athletes. Like if you have a nick, a bruise, or you got a consistent pain somewhere, well, this is the guy you go see, man. He can diagnose you and get you right and get you to where you need to be because you may not have to go to the hospital. You may just need to see good old doc. That's Dr. Jeffrey Pierce, our injury insider. And we'll see him in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask him a little bit about Kyle Finnegan's injury. We're going to talk to him about Micah Parsons' injury. So make sure you're watching Dr. Jeffrey Pierce coming up at about 3:40 here. Sharon's, this is a place, the culture of Woodward Sports is really healthy because there's a lot of good people here, and they truly like one another. It's not a bunch of stabbing in the back. You feel like family, much like Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning as well. Proudly serving Metro Detroit for well over 40 years. They're reliable. They have friendly service. They treat customers the right way. They offer heating, cooling, indoor air quality, really important, water heaters, vital, whole home generators, and memberships. And right now, through December 1st, if you are a DTE gas customer, you get a free furnace tune-up through December 1st. That's really impressive and really important. For anybody who owns a home, you know what I'm talking about. Call Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning today, 734-238-3839. You see it right there on the screen. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, 734-238-3839. Or just scan that QR code right above my head on the screen and tell them Woodward Sports, the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
And we back.
Really good tweet a little bit ago from a football writer. List of NFC North player seasons to make a Pro Bowl or first team All-Pro drafted by their team. So any player the Lions have drafted since 2021 that has made first team All-Pro or the Pro Bowl. Same thing with the Packers, same thing with the Bears, same thing with the Vikings. You ready? 16 Lions. Kool-Aid literally, he might run through that door, run out on Woodward and start screaming yes. 16 Lions, no Vikings, no Bears, no Packers.
Say it again.
16 Lions.
In terms of drafted All-Pro?
Since 2021 that became first team All-Pro or a Pro Bowler.
Okay, so Jefferson is
sounds
19.
gritty.
Since 2020.
Sounds about gritty to me.
16 Lions.
All right.
No Vikings, no Bears, no Packers.
Let that sink in, considering the Vikings won 14 games last year.
That's right.
Oh, and Joe in the chat says
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like Sam Darnold was a Pro Bowler, but he wasn't drafted.
Daniil Hunter was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. But wasn't drafted since 2021.
Exactly.
There you go. What were you going to say, Kool-Aid?
I was going to say, Joe in the chat
Hi,
says,
Joe.
hell yeah, Braylon, the NFL is back, baby.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. I'm excited. We got picks. We're back. We want to see what the season is going to do, man. I'm excited for that.
So let's get to these picks. What Braylon wants us to do is and we all want to do
That's
it.
what the fans want.
The division winners,
Yeah.
the wild card, who you pick for the Super Bowl, who's your MVP, and who will be the coach of the year.
Yeah.
So that was the task at hand. All right, brought to you by Buddy's Pizza and Buddy'sPizza.com. Who wants to go first?
I think we should
I'll
start
go
with
first.
Matt. Oh,
I go
Master
first.
break.
I'm excited.
Okay.
You can put mine up there.
And this is all done, by the way. None of us knew what the other took.
Nope.
Okay, so this is all very, to say secretive, but it's all individualized. So
Throw the NFL back wall up with all the players, Ryan.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Sorry I should have told you that last time. Here we go. Let's
You
get
ready
this
for
rocking
yours?
and rolling.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready for mine.
boy, that's a good look, by the way.
Here we go.
Oh, baby.
This is what I got. Some of it's going to be boring. It is what it is. Boring doesn't always mean bad. It just means those teams are that good. Division winners, NFC North, I'm going with the Kings of North, the Detroit Lions. I got them to run it back for the third time in a row. No shocker in the AFC North. I'm going to stick with the Baltimore Ravens. I believe that, as you can see, this is going to be their year. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they win that division again. I hear Falcons and Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson and Raheem Morris, blah, 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 blah. Sign me over Todd Bowles as well as Baker Mayfield in that impressive offensive skill set position. And then give me the Texans. I think the Texans last year still made the playoffs, but they had a lot of downfall. They have a lot of injuries, especially at the skill position set, whether it's running backs, whether it's wide receivers. So I think they'll be in shape. I think they'll be healthy this year. Look for them to bounce back. And then the Eagles will win that division. I think it's nothing as it relates to the Giants, as it relates to the Commanders charging, but I still believe in the Eagles, and I didn't even mention the other team. And then the Buffalo Bills. I don't think there's anyone that can challenge in that division. I think the Bills are set there. Give me the Niners. Not the Rams.
Bounce back year.
100%. Give me the Niners to still put their head in the mix and figure things out. I think they're going to be really good this year. I think they figured out their offensive line. I think the defensive line, too. They added some players, they added some pieces. And watch out for Christian McCaffrey. I think he is back. On the other side, former head coach of the 49ers, look for Jim Harbaugh to surprise everybody. And I think the Los Angeles Chargers will win the AFC West this season. Wild card winners will be the Commanders, the Rams, the Packers, and on the opposite side, Chiefs, Bengals, and Broncos. Your Super Bowl will be the Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. Your MVP is Jahmyr Gibbs, and your coach of the year will be Jim Harbaugh.
That's, you know what? It's pretty damn close to mine. If you look at my season predictions now, I've got the Lions winning the NFC North. Last year, I think it was the best division in all of football. They had 45 wins. That kind of proves it. But I didn't necessarily think it's the same this year. So you can tell.
Oh, wow.
Ours is
similar.
Ours is exactly the same. Even the wild card winners as well. You see that.
Man.
I've got the Lions over the Bills. I've got Mike Vrabel as my coach of the year because I was this close to taking New England vying for a wild card spot.
Okay.
I went with Cincinnati instead, truly feeling like their defense understands what's in front of them and how bad they have been. I picked the Lions to win it all last year and was wrong. I'll pick them again this year and hope I'm proven finally right. And I think Joe Burrow, who was in the conversation last year, but this time getting his team to the playoffs, he will be my MVP. I think with his weapons, it's become a quarterback trophy. It has. It's hard to pick a running back for it. It's become a quarterback trophy. When you have the weapons he has, with Jamar Chase specifically, okay, and I think he's the best wide receiver in the game. You could have a debate with Justin Jefferson.
No, you can't.
And you got T Higgins.
No,
you would know better than that. T Higgins. I think he's bound to have big numbers. And if you get a team to a playoff possibility, I think he's going to get more looks than that. So that's the reason I took that. I agree with, Baltimore, I think, is too skilled not to win that division.
Agreed.
I think Tampa is a scary team in the NFC in general. I think Houston plays in arguably the worst division in all of football, outside maybe the NFC South. The Eagles deserve to be where they are because they're deep. They have the most talent perhaps in all the league.
Yeah.
The Bills, I'm not going to go, they're on a mission. They've been on a mission before, but I do believe they understand what it takes. San Francisco in a bounce-back year, because I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to stay healthy all season long. And I believe at some point the reign for Kansas City will end. And I thought they played so many close games a year ago. I think the Chargers are ready to take that next move forward. the wild cards aren't totally difficult. I hemmed and hawed a little bit with the Packers. I think Seattle's going to be okay, but I think those teams pretty much got it. I know a lot of those names are the same as a year ago, and that should concern us all because that's just not the way the NFL works, right? Yeah. There are a lot of new teams. That's why I was thinking about New England. That's why I've got Vrabel as coach of the year.
I think one thing that hurts the Buffalo Bills is that division has been bad. The division has been bad. I think they're not prepared in those 6 games, and they get into the playoffs a lot of times and they struggle because typically what do teams do that 18th week? We'll sit our guys, we're good. You've played a bunch of average games, and then you sit your guys, and then you try to turn it on. Mm-hmm. I know injury was a fact for the Detroit Lions, but I think that was one of the things too. You got into a dogfight, and you looked up, and it was like, oh, shoot, what do we do? And we made some mistakes. It's not a team you know. Like, when you're making mistakes against a team you know, it's the Green Bay Packers. We'll figure it out. We know in the fourth quarter, Matt LaFleur's, he blew. I can't say that on air, but we know in the fourth quarter where he makes mistakes, we'll tend to get to that point, and then we'll take it from there. Sometimes when you don't know these teams, you can't have that moment. But I almost took the Chargers. I almost took the Broncos
to win the division,
and then I was gonna make Sean Payton the coach of the year. Okay. Like that was what I was wrestling with. But outside of that,
did you think at all about Jacksonville? That's a chic pick. I think they finished second in their division. Because we don't believe in Daniel Jones with the Colts.
Tennessee Titans can finish second.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think
right.
Tennessee Titans.
I got Jacksonville finishing second. All right, Kool-Aid, how about your picks? Go.
Yes, sir. You know what, man? We'll just start right at the end of this thing. You guys already know who I have winning the Super Bowl, so that's no suspense. Hey, get out of here, man. Get out of here, Brandon. Come on, man.
You have the same thing we you got the Rams.
He's got the Rams. He doesn't have San Francisco making it at all.
Yeah. I don't have San Francisco making it. I do believe that Sam Darnold is going to carry some of that mojo with him over to Seattle, who they got close last year. And for me, I'm looking at Green Bay because Michael Parsons. I give them the edge. But if J.J. McCarthy can go in there and game manage, I do believe that the team around him is just as formidable as they were last year, and they made some additions. So if J.J. McCarthy can be everything in year 2, technically his rookie year, that people are saying he can be, I do believe that they might have a chance to get up there. But right now, Michael Parsons elevates the Green Bay Packers for me. I do believe in Sean Payton and what he's able to do.
He's got to be more of a game manager, though. J.J. McCarthy can't just manage games and Minnesota make it to the playoffs. No. He's got too many weapons, especially when Jordan Addison comes back. There's no way he can just be a quote-unquote game manager. He can't be Jeff Hostetler.
No. There's going to have to be times where he uses that big arm and his mobility in the pocket to throw the ball down the field, especially when you have the types of targets that you do. Yeah. Even Sam Darnold was able to do that too. Yeah. He was able to get the ball down the field. Sometimes it got him in trouble though. The Lions were able to pick that off.
But I think every quarterback that happens. Quarterbacks have supreme confidence, especially if they have big arms.
Yeah.
So the tight window stuff, when people complain about that, I don't care. Every quarterback's done it. If you don't think Jeff George, who wasn't very good, but he had supreme confidence in his arm, if you don't think he was looking at tight windows, Matthew Stafford, all those guys. Patrick Mahomes throws in tight windows. Why? Braylon brought up the Eli Manning throw to Mario Manningham.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks even try that throw? Okay.
In the Super Bowl.
Right. In a key situation. That's really good. So who's your coach of the year and who's your MVP?
You know, my coach of the year, I believe this is the year that Dan Campbell proves everybody wrong. This is the year of the Lions.
But I agree. Like, if they win this year, Dan Campbell will get that credit. Because Ben's finally gone, because Aaron's gone, because now this is what we're looking for. Can you do it? If they do it this year, then
it's the narratives. It's been narratives to this point.
Is it fair to assume Jared Goff's your MVP?
Actually, no. No, it's not. But my MVP, man, look. I actually believe that Mr. Lamar Jackson has been hearing a lot of the noise this year, and I do believe that he's going to go out there and put up another dog season. I think he's going to go out there and change a lot of people's opinions and punctuate this.
What's the opinion he's got to change?
Listen.
Where's this coming from? People fawn over him. He's won 2 MVPs.
I feel like over the last few years, and this is where I believe in the regular season he's going to make a statement, but he's ultimately going to bow to the Detroit Lions. Are finally going to beat the Ravens because
what's the statement he didn't make last year?
He fell short.
He had one of the greatest seasons a quarterback has ever had,
and didn't win, which tells me he'll never win again. Like him winning the MVP is like when you won so many, they want the new guy to win. They want to add the new guy. The fact that he didn't win last year and they gave it to Josh Allen, you can say head-to-head, and that's why he won. That's fine. Lamar Jackson had a season last year nobody has ever had in history in the NFL.
Yeah, and so did Josh Allen with the rushing with the touchdowns.
Lamar Jackson had 20 more touchdowns than Josh Allen.
Yeah,
name me an MVP where someone has had 20 more touchdowns at the same position and lost.
I can't because I don't have that research, but I know Josh Allen did some historic stuff last year too. It's a good debate. I'm not saying one is over the other. I just don't understand. He's got to prove something. He doesn't have to prove anything except to win a Super Bowl.
If he didn't have to prove anything, I think he wins the MVP last year. Then I really do. But
it's based on regular. It's based on regular season. The only thing he has to prove is come postseason time.
Which is where, unfortunately, as much as I want to see my guy get that dub, you guys see it right there in the Super Bowl. The Lions are gonna get that victory, man.
I don't know if mine had a winner or loser, but I just gotta make this clear. I chose the Baltimore Ravens.
You did. You picked the Ravens.
I wanted to be known. I chose Baltimore
Ravens. You took the Ravens over the Lions.
I did.
Okay, and I took the Lions over the Bills. Ryan, what do you have?
Yeah. So, very quickly, I have the Bills coming out of the AFC East, AFC North. I have the Ravens out of the South, the Texans, and the AFC West. I can't go against the Chiefs, and especially with Kelsey and Swift engaged, there's gonna be some stupid magic going on.
Please come up with a better example and stats than that. Holy mother of God!
Alert! Gen Z in the booth. Gen Z in the booth.
Oh my! That's the reason they don't win. How about that?
No,
it's because she's too much of a flippin' distraction.
And then Taylor Swift did a halftime performance.
He won the first year. They were together the first year they won.
Well, yeah, but remember. I know somebody who thinks it's all set up.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And that ring is probably glass.
Fool's
Okay.
gold.
Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
The wild cards got to go Harbaugh and the Chargers. And then I'm going to say the Steelers get in. There's going to be some Mike Tomlin magic with Aaron.
We need a drug test here. Go ahead.
I like the defense. I really like the Steelers defense.
I don't mind that because you're talking about seven teams. So you're talking about that 6 and 7 spot. Yeah. It's always a shake-up. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
And then my last spot here, I'm going to say the Bengals get in. I'm going to go with you, Shep. I'm going to say the Bengals get in.
3 out of the AFC North.
Is there any team that we are valuing too much? Because a lot of us have to say, is there a team? I don't know. Is it the Lions that we are valuing too much?
It might be the Chargers.
Is it the Chargers? Okay.
I'm high on the
Chargers.
Chargers.
Might be the Chargers.
Chargers, we're valuing too much.
Like if there's one team you could see of all that we chose that doesn't make it, and we all picked the Chargers. Some of us picked them to win the division.
Commanders.
Maybe the Bengals.
We all have the Commanders in there. Commanders. Are you talking about to win the division?
I'm saying the team you said that we value too much. The Bengals didn't make it last year, so the expectation is that they're getting there. I don't think they're super high on our confidence list. They're picked as a wild card. Braylon and I picked the Chargers.
But you got Joe Burrow to win MVP.
I do.
Okay, if he's winning MVP, that means they're at least making it to the second round of the playoffs. So it's a good question.
Yeah, I think them getting to the playoffs. The MVP is voted on a regular season.
You say that, but is it?
I think it is.
Is it? Like, how many times do you see a game and you're like, the game's over, and now it's like, all right, there it is. Now we're going to choose it, whether it's the NBA or the NFL. I think they both do it. Like, they tell us one thing.
They probably do.
Yeah. Like, Josh Allen won that MVP, when.
Yeah, they probably do. But I think if there's one team that we might be valuing too much, it might be the Chargers.
Okay.
That's just my guess.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there's a little bit
of fighting
hope
Jimmys, as they say.
I would say that, man, and I'm bullish on what they can be. But that's exactly what it is. It's just about being bullish. The other teams, they are teams that I believe in as it relates to both sides of things. They have proven players, proven quarterbacks, some stars and some all-pros. But with the Chargers, it is resting on the quarterback and what Jim Harbaugh can
It's
do.
the least confident pick you probably have. And a lot of, at least for me and Braylon, I don't want to speak for Braylon, but for me it was. And that's because you're trying to dethrone the champ. You're trying to dethrone the team that is viewed as a dynasty, and it is. I mean, just watch The Kingdom and listen to Ryan talk about Taylor Swift. So I think when you got 3 rings, when you got three rings, that's going to give me pause to say somebody is going to pole vault them.
You're right on that, and with the Chargers too, how much of that is us believing that the Chiefs may be on the way down, and they
Correct.
always find a way
Yeah.
to stave that off.
Yeah.
It's not just believing that the Chiefs are on the way down. Like, people have been saying it for the last 3-4 years. You're absolutely correct. I don't necessarily think it's just that. I think the division has gotten tougher. I think those games have gotten tougher. You look at the coaches that are in that division now. Like, last time I checked, Pete Carroll has a Super Bowl ring.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh got to the Super Bowl and he has a national championship ring. Everywhere he's going, he's elevated right away. It hasn't taken long. He made the playoffs last year and won 11 games. And then this is a tougher division now. It's tougher coaches in there. And you look at the offensive line. Last year, the offensive line was average for them and they decimated. They got rid of it. They bought in some rookie offensive linemen. They bought in some new offensive linemen. What does that look like? Their arguable best wide receiver, he's not even playing for the first 6 games.
Yeah.
He's been suspended. What does it look like without Rashee Rice? What does that backfield look like? It's been consistent, but it's been a filler backfield. Here's Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little bit. Here's Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco is hurt. Let's bring back Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's in the backfield. What does that backfield look like?
Yeah.
Like, we just keep assuming that they're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. I think they have real questions. If not for a whole season, they got real questions to start the season.
I love that.
That is fair.
You're 100%
they're
right.
fair questions.
You brought up a really good point. I mean, that division with its coaches, best coaching division in all of football. I don't think there's any question. All right, Ryan, real quick. Did we get your NFC? Real quick, go ahead.
No, but I'm going to go Lions, of course. The East is hard because they never win it back-to-back, but I'm going to say the Eagles do it. And then I'm going to go Bucks. And then the 49ers are going to bounce back this year.
Okay, so how about your wild cards?
I'm going to go the Seahawks. I think Cooper Kupp and Charbonnet are going to be really beneficial for Darnold.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go the Packers with Parsons. And then I'm going to go the Commanders. And I think, do I need one more?
No, those are 3.
Those 3?
You're all set with that. You do need the MVP and the Coach of the Year, though.
MVP, I'm going to go Saquon. I think they're going to give it to a running back finally.
I'm with you. That's why I chose Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I feel like there is a changing of the guard coming. Like, it's just a matter. I feel like which one of the 3 is it going to be? Bijan? Is it going to be Jahmyr? Is it going to be Saquon or somebody else? I agree. Change of the guard is coming.
I'm going to go, and then for my Super Bowl, I'm going to say the Lions come out of the NFC, and then I'm going to say the Bills finally get over the hump. I'm going to say the Bills win it. I'm going to say the Bills win it.
Bills over the Lions?
Yeah.
I had Lions over Bills. By the way, does anybody? I think Braylon knows this. You guys know the last time a running back won MVP?
I actually do.
I knew you do. Yeah, Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
Not as a Lion, but as a Viking.
In
2000.
Yeah, I remember
after
2012.
an ACL tear.
Yeah, 2012.
After an ACL tear.
Isn't that something?
I saw a play. I say this, and I know I've said it before on the show, but when you see players, because some players have that mystique about him. Adrian Peterson, all day, I think he's one of the best running backs of all time. We can get into that later. But when you get these opportunities, when people show you, Shep, that all the hype is real. Like, I watched Adrian Peterson since Oklahoma. I remember his freshman year, over 1,900 yards rushing. He was at the Heisman with Cedric Benson and some other guys, and just an amazing running back. Gets to Minnesota, and you see that he's fast as I don't know what. He can run through the tackles. He can run away from it. He does all the things. When we played them in 2009, this was my last – was it 9 or 8? I think it was 9. Maybe it was 8. I can't remember. But it was early in the season, first game. 64 yards going into that fourth quarter. I told you about this last week. And I'm like, man, this Adrian Peterson, this is the guy they've been talking about. I'm like, our defense is, we're not that good. we're not that great. And it's like a switch flipped on. And it's like they gave him the ball on the play that they needed. He proceeds to dish rag our linebacker, DeQuell Jackson, who was a damn good linebacker, 2-time Pro Bowler, and also he did really well with Indianapolis Colts. Dish ragged our cornerback, who's a first-round pick. Dish ragged our safety, 70-yard touchdown, and now he finishes the game with a $175 on it. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
Now you get it. Yeah.
It's like first time I played against Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. I was like, man, they keep talking about him at the line of scrimmage. Like, what is it really like at the line of scrimmage? When I tell you, I blinked, and the DB must have blinked too, because Chad was gone and the DB still was like this in the stands. And Chad was already around him. Like, him and AB are the best 2 people I've ever seen at the line of scrimmage.
Really? Get off the line of scrimmage?
Like the feet?
Yeah.
AB and Chad, feet, they're 1 and 2. I don't know
that's
which
amazing.
order.
See, I love that. Could be another Braylon's breakdown in the future. The fact that he's looking at feet instead of just about anything else that we'd be looking at from a wide receiver. But the last thing about Adrian Peterson, A lot bigger than I think people thought. You know, I mean, he's a big man. I mean, he's a tough dude to bring down. All right. Coming on down is Jeff Pierce. He's going to join us coming up. We're going to talk about the Kyle Finnegan, the reliever with a strained muscle, if you will, a strained groin.
Goodness.
Okay, so there's a
October's
problem there.
around the corner,
I know.
Shep.
But the Tigers aren't the only team dealing with it, I would remind you. Boston just had a major blow to one of their best players. But we'll also talk about Micah Parsons and some other injuries that might affect, do I hear fantasy football? Maybe. But first, this message from BlackRock.
BlackRock. Look, the summer sizzle is still here, and there's still time to get into the challenge. And that challenge is a trip for two, helicopter ride around the city of Detroit. The beautiful city of Detroit, that is. All you got to do is scan this QR code above my head and enter for a chance to win that helicopter ride. Also, to put you in the running for opening day, September 14th. 4 tickets, not 2, but 4 tickets to that, man. That's what you want to do. This is what BlackRock is here to do. It's the summer of giveaways. The summer giveaways have been going great. But also, don't forget about the restaurant. Don't forget about the bar and grill, who boasts a new menu. And that menu is legit. We can tell you from experience. But we'll help you out. How about you go to BlackRock, one near you, and what you do is you mention Woodward Sports. And when you mention Woodward Sports, it gets you 20% off the bill. Sounds like a meal to me. A meal that is 20% cheaper. Go to BlackRock Bar and Grill, because they're the place that sizzles.
Yeah, they're going to take care of you just like Lady Jane's takes care of you, folks. You want to come in, you want to get a good haircut. They understand that your time is valuable. The ladies here are fantastic. It's clean. It's open 7 days a week. You come in, you sign in, you're in the chair, and you're out the door. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Most places you go in, it's stuffy. You got to sit, you got to look at a magazine, you got to read the paper. Nope, not at Lady Jane's. They are open 7 days a week for your convenience, with women who know what they're doing and get you in and out of the chair so you can get on with your day. Lady Jane's, it is completely awesome.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season
and take advantage of our $20 haircut special.
Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belizean. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
You know, most of the morning I was in the dentist chair, and I didn't eat before I got to the dentist, so I was starving right around lunchtime. I'm driving here to the studio, and I see a Buddy's, and I said, what a perfect time to go in there and grab a small pizza. That's exactly what I did, and I am so glad I did it. Now, it was my favorite pizza. It's, the one with, it's a Meat Lovers. It's similar to a Meat Lovers. But their barbecue brisket pizza, their barbecue chicken salad, their Super Summer Sundae, all of it top notch. I mean, grade A stuff, all right there at Buddy's Pizza and Buddy'sPizza.com. The thing that you also need to know as you look at those good-looking salads and a good-looking pizza is their burgers, right? Their smash stacks are really, really good. So you've got the square Detroit-style pizza. You've got the smash stack. It's full of flavor. You've got the sundaes. You've got summer shandies. It's everything you could want, and it's only at Buddy's Pizza and Buddy'sPizza.com.
NFL season is upon us, starts tonight and this weekend. Also, college football. So what that means is make sure you get your bets in. And if you're going to bet anywhere, make sure you bet with Caesars Sportsbook. Scan that QR code and enter the code Woodward1000. If your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit right back up to $1,000. So that's right. If you bet up to $1,000, you'll get that right back. Minimum bet is $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today. The official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Make sure you use code Woodward1000.
We bet.
All right. Jeff Pierce is going to join us in about, any minute, quite honestly. I want to get you updated on all the injuries and what we can foresee what's happening, all right? With it, Kyle Finnegan, Micah Parsons, anything else that might be on his mind regarding some of the Detroit Lions as they get ready for the Packers in game number 1. And obviously, we've got the chain going there for
Lions
Braylon.
ready.
He looks Lions ready,
man.
Yeah.
So, I respect the Lions, man. He called me not necessarily a Lion slappy, but I support this team. I'm pulling hard, and I believe in them.
I am too. I can't wait for Sunday. There was a rather controversial article in the Detroit Free Press this morning.
Oh, Lord.
And that is the headline. Remember this. I mean, writers don't always write the headlines. They never write the headlines, quite honestly. Oftentimes their editors or people at the copy desk do that. So Dave Burkett, who joined us yesterday, has certain articles out there. He's not always writing those headlines. Carlos Monterez, who I like a lot. And
Carlos.
And the reason I like him is because he doesn't mind people disagreeing with him. He's like my good friend, God rest his soul, Drew Sharp. Drew sometimes wrote for effect.
Yeah.
Carlos does at times, I think, too.
Did he get called out by Brad Holmes at the podium?
I believe. Who? Carlos?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Today?
No, not today. Towards the end of last season, like he said something, and Brad Holmes, and people making comments.
Oh, he might have. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He said something controversial. He wrote something controversial today. Not that they're on the hot seat, but if they don't make a playoff run, then it could be getting warm for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I could not disagree more with anything somebody has written than that.
Once again, we live in an era where clickbait is a real thing. Clickbait's always been a thing, but not like now. Like now you really want eyes on your product. Now you want people talking about what you have to write. So what do? You come up with a conversation like this. Like there's no way, shape, fashion, or form where Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes will be on the hot seat if they have another bad year. You know what it's going to be? People are going to talk stuff about them. People are going to call it a disappointment. People will call them a letdown. But they won't be the first GM and head coach to have bad seasons. Like, they won't be the first tandem to have a bad season. Nothing. To say that they would be on a hot seat, in the span of the Lions having the biggest boom that they've ever had in the history of the brand in the last 3 years, you can even add that fourth year. Why not?
Sure.
In the last 4 years, this space that they're in, they're not on a hot seat. People want them to have success. Now, I would say that it doesn't look good finishing like you did last year and then having another disappointing season. Mm-hmm. That does not look good at all. But to say that they would be on the hot seat, I think that's – Brad Holmes, just off the 23 draft alone, has bought himself 8 years.
Yeah. There's going to be there would be question marks.
Yeah, one and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. I don't think their seats would be warm. I guess when I look at hot seats, warm seats for any coach or general manager, I look at it from how is the owner viewing the people they have put in place.
Yeah.
And I don't think Sheila Ford Hemp has any question that her team is being led by the right people. And I say people for effect. Yeah. because it's both of them.
I say it like this: if Sheila Hamp didn't waver when Dan Campbell started off 3-13-1, and then the following season they were 1-6 after 7 games, if she didn't waver then, she's not going to waver now.
Right.
Like, they're locked in.
Let's get our friend Jeff Pierce up here. He's locked in. He's locked in on a lot of the injuries that are taking place. Come on up here with us, will you, Jeff?
Come on, Doc. You want to start clapping or something? Come on, get up here.
The studio audience is waiting for you.
This whole new setup here.
Yeah, well, we need to make sure you're lit properly and you look good, right? We got everything behind you, and we got the helmet in front of you.
You got the Lions helmet, you can stand up a little bit.
Everything's great. Right.
You're big time now.
Before we dive into football, I know you're excited about football, and you should be. Kyle Finnegan, the outstanding reliever, who I think in 13 appearances hasn't allowed a run. His ERA is 0.00, much like my grade point average early in life. He has a groin strain. Right. What does that do for a pitcher? And I don't want a timetable. I'm just wondering, what are the effects of him pitching, and how does he get back?
Yeah, I mean, if you see the video, like it's out there, the video where he actually does it, feels like something just doesn't feel right. So the pitchers, I mean, when you talk about groin, obviously we all know where the groin is.
Sure.
But what does that mean from a structural standpoint? You're talking about muscles, you're talking about, ligaments and things that go into your testicles and things that hurt from that standpoint. From the groin, it's classically the adductor, which is the muscle that brings you inward. But when you're talking about a pitcher and all the delivery, you have to be in rhythm. When everything's in rhythm, it's like every part of the car is working to go down the street. That's how these pitchers are. You got a guy, like we've talked about receivers, or you can stay in the third gear when there's 5 gears. With a pitcher with that, you have to be able to push off. It's his sensitivity of how he's on the mound, how he's following through, and how he's landing. So it's hopefully just a simple thing, but you see him, it looks pretty benign. I don't know if you have the actual the pitch. We have that? Where you can actually see that he does a pretty simple pitch. It's like a non-contact injury. So it's almost like something didn't feel right. Let's get it feeling right again. I don't think he's going to be out for very long.
Good. That's good news for Tigers fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I want to go to the football side of things. I want to talk about Micah Parsons and his L4, L5 in terms of what's kept him out for, the majority of practice as relates to Dallas Cowboys and now limited with the Green Bay Packers. What should Panay expect as it relates to Micah Parsons lining up every game? He has not practiced in training camp for the most part, and he also has his injury in which he definitely will be getting some of that secret sauce.
Right, I mean,
what does that look like?
I mean, we can go through it in a lot of detail, but you saw they put out his practice.
I mean,
he looked pretty powerful.
He did.
Yeah. He looked a little exhausted too. Is that conditioning, or what is that? So when you start having an injury, like a back injury, just say let's be generalized, like simple people. It's just a simple back injury. What's going to happen is that area is going to become inflamed, it's become tender, it's become like in a spasm. So that means that part of his body isn't strengthening or conditioning. He's avoiding it. So is he in player-ready shape for the game? Probably not, because he's not working like he was. But now he's got a back injury on top of it. Now if we peel that back a little bit, everybody says an epidural injection. Oh, he's got an epidural, I think ESPN announced on Monday or Tuesday. And then you say a facet inflammation and irritation. Those are two different things, right? So from a medical standpoint, we kind of laugh at this, that they're trying to simplify it. You throw an epidural up there, the first thing you think of is a pregnant lady, right?
Oh, right.
We thought he was going to give birth today. So, we obviously got past that he's not giving birth today, but what's actually going on? So if you give an epidural and we think he's going to go play after, that's exactly what we don't want. We, as a Detroit Lions fan, we want that.
Got you.
Right? Because now you're masking the issue.
If this is Aiden Hutchinson as a fan, you wouldn't want that.
Now, if he's truly getting an epidural for the reasons of giving an epidural, which is more nerve-related, they then went on to say it's a strain of the facet joint between the 4th and 5th level. Now, that's something you can drop some steroid on, or whatever we call the secret sauce.
Got you.
And steroid isn't the secret sauce, by the way, just for those viewers that are interested. But that can be something that you do to the point that he can feel better, because that'll cut down the inflammation. We're not at risk of injuring a ligament. Like what the classic thing is back in the day. I mean, you're almost old enough. We used to put a knee injection before the game.
Yeah.
They go out, and then we find out you got meniscal shredding and ACL instability.
Your knee looks like this now.
Yeah. So we can't do that. But for the joint, with simple steroids to calm it down, yeah, that's a little secret sauce before he plays. But he should have if he's going to have it, he should have had it already, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
now
right.
it's like, do we do it the day before so you feel great? Has he done it already? So there's a lot of unknowns right now.
Okay.
But a simple epidural, you're not putting an epidural in him on Saturday and he plays Sunday. I wouldn't advise it. He wouldn't be my patient. I don't think the risk of injuring him, is too high, right? Why waste this game? Like, it's not that important. We're looking at a long-term contract with him.
Well, so let's look at a couple things. First of all, can you explain what the L4 and L5 is?
Yeah, do we have that anatomy?
Because there's a lot of people who, it's your world, but a lot of times people don't necessarily know where it is. So I want to know what that is, where it's located, and how much is that affecting, and what is it affecting an athlete to do in that area?
All right, so I apologize. I probably should have started a little simpler. But the L4-5 is in the lumbar region, so we're talking the lower back. So there's 5 segments.
So show people on me. Where are we looking?
All right, so the best thing to do, can we even get the video here? So the best thing to do is the top of your iliac crest is the top of your hip. If you come straight across to the back, that's classically your 4th level. So it's 1 level there and 1 level below. So it's the whole fulcrum of the back. So when you start talking about the back, it's number 1 and number 2, 4-5 and 5S1, which is the lower segment where it goes into your tailbone.
Okay.
But if everybody wants to stand up right now and go to the top of their hip, go straight across your back, that's your L4 and 1 segment down. And then the facet is a fancy name for the joints of the spine. So Kool-Aid, do we have that?
Yes, sir.
I have some anatomy to show you. But basically, that's what rubs on it. So when you talk about Sewell, what's he going to do? Sewell's going to pushing him. He's not going to have that great force where he's like pushing and pushing off, right? So when you have some back discomfort, it's slowing you down. You're not in 5 gears.
Yeah.
And Parson plays 5th gear really
Heck,
well.
yeah.
He's not going to have a 5th gear until this thing's healed.
Gotcha.
So can he play at 3? Not against Sewell. I mean, he's all pro versus all pro. So that's
and
not
one's not coming off season-ending injury either. Yeah, that's Panay.
Right. So you're talking. He's at a big disadvantage. Does the Packers want to use him as a decoy right now? I don't think that's going to happen. But to answer your question straight up, he's not going to have a stellar game if he truly has this injury. Is it all fake news? I don't think it's fake news at this point. In Dallas, we thought it was a little bit of exaggerated news, but here they're coming out with 4-5. A strain. There's talk about it. He looks a little weak. I don't know.
How did, just out of curiosity, how did the Packers make that trade? And they had to have known, right? I mean, how do you not know what the injury is to the player and give you pause?
I don't think it mattered.
You're talking about the semantics. Like, first of all, it was a bad attitude, right? So he wasn't giving everything to Dallas.
Well, his attitude actually changed. His attitude changed last year. Okay, last year in the locker room, he actually said, "Hey, I don't care if I'm making $40 million. Could be verb speak, but I'm just saying, I don't care if I make $40 million. I care about this team."
Yeah.
So his attitude completely changed from when he was a rookie out of Penn State and his work ethic to last year. Now, it changed maybe during training camp when he and Jerry Jones got into it a little bit.
Right.
But his attitude did change last year for the better, according to Dallas writers.
Right, but then when he, we don't, like a strain like this, it's like you have back pain. Some days you do have back pain, some days you don't have back pain.
Yeah.
He can, when you're in a bad mood and you don't really want to play, that achiness just kind of kicks up a little bit more.
Okay.
So, but right now, why did the Packers mix something? No. The doctors know what's going on.
All right.
We know what's going on. Like I said before, when we peel back, we can figure it out. What upper management does with that information, he's a long-term player. He's not.
Okay.
They didn't.
So you wouldn't have red flagged it necessarily.
I would have brought it to everybody's attention. This is rehabable, which I've done a lot in the past.
Okay.
These are injured players of past injuries. Do we re-sign them? All that stuff we've done with. We've done all that stuff. Is it rehabable? If it's a simple strain of 4-5 level, it's definitely rehabable.
Okay.
Do we have that run? Do you want to go through that?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm going to pull that video up for you right now, actually.
Wait,
Final
do you have
conditions,
the other
including a
fun
lumbar
video that I
herniated
have?
disc.
Okay. So this is your L4-5.
Spinal conditions,
So
including
this
a
is the
lumbar
spine,
herniated
obviously, from
disc,
the back.
can cause
You see in
inflammation
front
or
there, these
pressure
are all
on the nerve
nerves.
roots.
So what we call facets are those joints that you can see in the middle here. And then the nerves coming out. So
Leading out of the
there's no
spine,
complaint of nerve
resulting in
discomfort,
pain.
And there's no disc discomfort. So we're worried about the joint. So if we're going to secret sauce him, this is probably the best thing that we can
Tingling or numbness along those nerves.
Calm the inflammation down
A
in
lumbar
that joint.
epidural steroid
Feels better,
injection
it's
may be
gonna
used
play.
to reduce
And
the
these are
inflammation
just,
around the
put some
spinal
dye
nerves.
in there. I think it's going to go through the dye pattern.
During
and
the
then some numbing
procedure, the
medication
patient
and some
lies down with a cushion
So you
underneath
can
their
see the whole
stomach to
process.
increase
It's gonna
flexion
go
in
in
the
at the
lumbar
4-5
spine,
level here in
giving
a
more
minute.
room for the needle to
So
pass
again,
through.
you're seeing them, he's laying on
First,
his
a
stomach,
local
the skeleton's
anesthetic
on
is
his
used
stomach.
to numb the
Those are
skin above the
spinous
injection
processes, like when
site.
you feel the
Using
back,
X-rays,
those are the
the needle is
processes you
guided
feel,
into the epidural
and then the
space.
facets you really
Contrast
feel.
dye is
What's the point of
injected to
dye?
confirm the proper placement of the needle
To
in the
make sure you're in
epidural
the right area.
space.
So I'm
The
thinking
injection
straight
itself
millimeters
may
make a
include
difference.
local anesthetic
Millimeters,
and or
these aren't big
saline
spaces,
along with the
so it's
steroid
millimeters,
medication
and
to
the
give
dye helps
immediate
you
pain
make sure the
relief
medication
and flush
goes
the
to
area
right
of
spot.
inflammatory
Now you
agents.
drop the medication
The
in, you're
mixture is
bathing the
injected
nerve.
and the
So
steroid
think
acts
about
to
it as just
reduce the
bathing that nerve to
inflammation
calm
around
it
the
down.
spinal nerve
But
roots.
then we really, like we
The
say
needle is
epidurals, that's what
removed
an
and a
epidural
small
does.
bandage is
What they're
placed on the
reporting is that
injection
he's got a
site.
joint
The
issue,
patient
which
is
a
monitored
much
for a
lesser
short
issue.
time before
So
being
it's more of a
discharged
beneficial
home.
That's a
thing.
great explanation. Thank
So
you for that. That's
hopefully.
really good. Really
So
helpful.
now, do we have that other video? I got to toy it a little bit.
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah,
it's going
against
up.
this Michigan. Wait, do you have the one I sent you?
Yep. A few more seconds and we got
All
you.
right. So, all right, what else?
Yeah, that's good.
No, because I want to play on the Michigan State stuff.
What Michigan State stuff?
It's something you don't know about.
Yeah, we got he's cooking up a surprise for you, man. We'll have it here in a few seconds.
No. It's not about you.
No, but you looked at me when you said that. I said, "Are you
Well,
talking?"
because you're a Michigan guy, and we love Michigan, right?
For sure, you better.
No. All right, we're waiting.
All right, let's get this rolling here so we can make sure.
In the
we
meantime,
got-
between time while Kool-Aid's doing that, we don't have to stare at the screen. What do you think for opening night? Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. What say you? Are the Cowboys done? They got rid of Micah Parsons with the L4, the L5, and all the epidural stuff. But are the Cowboys out of here? Or you believe in them a little bit?
I think that their quarterback's amazing. Do they have enough supporting cast? Do they have a chance against the Eagles tonight?
Yes.
I'm comfortably taking the Eagles.
Okay, comfortably
I
taking.
think that's fair.
You're comfortably taking the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was coach speak. So are you taking the 8.5, or are you taking a close game?
I'm taking the 8.5 because I think Philly's got a chip on their shoulder still.
Oh, so you think they're gonna blow them out? What do you think? Like, what do you really think about
I'd
this
give the
game?
points. I don't think their quarterback's amazing.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
think Philly's going to score quite a few points. Dallas is going to be forced to do just that. They're going to be forced to air it out a little bit, and I think Philly's defense is really good.
I think the biggest question in terms of newness for Dallas is, what does Dak and George Pickens look like? Like, what does that look like? Is that anything?
I like talent, and I think the guy's really talented.
He's super talented.
Yeah. I'm talking about Pickens now. So.
Yeah, same. I was not talking about Dak.
Yeah. Okay, you got a Kool-Aid?
Hey, we got it.
All right, let's roll it. Go ahead.
Here we go.
So everybody knows I'm very family oriented. This is my son playing lacrosse at Michigan State. So Sparty came, put the defensive on him.
Oh, that was crazy.
This was huge for them. So obviously my son passed on some scholarships for lacrosse and decided to go to Michigan State. So this was a big kudo. Dad, guess what happened this morning? What happened last night?
What? Respect. And, look, I don't have any beef with Sparty. I always say he's one of the best mascots in NCAA. So
but Sparty can play, Alex said.
A lot of the guy by underneath can get after it a little bit.
Yeah, he said he's real.
I told Sparty to be quiet in his face my junior year in East Lansing. I caught a touchdown, and Sparty was in the corner, and I literally caught it right here and ran up to him like. I got cussed out when I got the sideline by Lloyd, but it was worth it.
What was the reaction from Sparty at the time?
He was quiet. At that time, it was 21 zip? 21 zip or 21-7?
Yeah.
I mean,
you get the praise, but that was pretty cool. Just some lighthearted stuff.
Good stuff
out there. But yeah, go out.
Are you going to the game Saturday against Boston College?
I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely going the following week. It's family weekend. So family.
I'll see you up there then.
Yeah. So it'll be.
What they got? Week 3. Because you say you're not going to Boston College, you're going the following week. Who are they playing?
Following week.
Youngstown.
Youngstown.
Oh, the pride of Youngstown.
It's hopefully
the Penguins.
a good family weekend game.
Yeah, it also means you'll probably be out of there.
Jim
at halftime.
Tressel.
Yeah, hopefully.
Famously.
Yeah,
Jim Tressel.
But yeah, a big shout out again. You guys know I do a lot of entertainment. I was able to be with Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the band?
The band, which I'm a big shout out to them. Great guys. We're going to try to get Trevor on. Trevor's the guy from Woodhaven, Michigan. He's got a lot
drummer,
of roots
right?
here. Huh?
He's the drummer?
No, he's a guitarist. He's one of the front guys.
I met the drummer a couple of years ago. I thought he was from the area. So
yeah,
that's good stuff.
But historically, Trevor played major hockey here in Michigan.
He did.
So hopefully we can get him on and talk a little bit hockey back in the day.
Okay.
So
see what it was
pretty
like.
cool.
Nothing wrong with turning the page back a little bit,
That's
right?
right.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks a lot for the showing of the Micah Parsons.
graphics are always
That's really educational. So that's really good stuff. Our thanks to you for checking out the Braylon Edwards Show as usual here on Woodward Sports. We're back with you tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody, and thanks for watching.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man, got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.